Hi, this is Gloomy, and I am finally back with another sketchbook tour. Look how long this took me to do this time. I don't know why it took me so long, but I've got my OC's Icon and XP on the cover. They're my personified blue screens. But she's like the modern blue screen, and he's the retro one. So, first page. This is a redraw of something I did in 2018. While my art has got better since then, I actually kind of prefer the colours I used in the 2018 version, but I like this one too. And these are a bunch of drawings from like 2019. Yeah, these are just some doodles. These were like the first things I did in my sketchbook. I don't really have anything to say about this page. So this is a spread about all of my main blawbows that I had at the time. It is already out of date. It was out of date like a month after I drew this. City of Angels. In a world where angels are actually just a weird type of bird. Self-portrait. That's a neighborhood cat called Lucky. One of my OCs, Stretto. I actually did this with gouache. I started to use gouache in this sketchbook for the first time. This was actually the second thing I painted with gouache because I came back to this page like later. This was when, like, a year and a half late, I finally listened to Rabbit Hole. So I did like a double-sided collage. I like how she's just kind of going through the sketchbook page. This was my first attempt at gouache. It kind of happened by accident, but I started to notice a pattern where I would try out every new art supply with a drawing of Miku, so I sort of consciously do that now. So yeah, now whenever I try out a new art supply, I draw Miku. This was a redraw of something I did in 2019. This time I prefer this version. And this was my first thing that I drew where I used both watercolor and gouache. And then this was me comparing gouache with watercolor. This one is gouache and this one is watercolor. This is another watercolor and gouache painting. It's inspired by an artist. I forgot her name. This is the artist that it's based on. Yelena James. Yeah, I've got this book that gives me a lot of inspiration, basically. It's cool. I love art books. I want to release an art book one day. Unhinged doodle page in which a anthropomorphic cat ponders why she has boobs. Gura. This was around the time I became obsessed with drawing Gura, and the funny thing is, this was like a month before she graduated. Icon. Friday Planet. I also got like really obsessed with Halle Uchida at this point. I discovered her stuff kind of by chance, and I've become obsessed with her songs and her videos, and oh my god, her songs and videos, they're so cute and disturbing, and oh my god, I love them. Mori Calliope, Gura again, and Surskit, because they both got at in common. One of my OCs too, so in a weird position. Gura again, I was obsessed with drawing her. I don't know why. She's fun to draw. I was redesigning one of my OCs, Nara. Just a bunch of stickers. I got like this sort of street art sticker book, so they're like all over the sketchbook. Another one of my OCs, Jenny. This is the current design of Nara. I really like this design. This was what like a week of listening to Halle Uchida does to me. This was basically inspired just by the vibe of her videos. Yeah, I always do these when I don't know what to draw. It's fun. A collage, which this light really doesn't like. Oh god, that's even worse. Yeah. Brassius, an alien. More Halle Uchida stuff. That one is Nakamura-san, and that one is Friday Planet. She's perfect, but she also poops. It makes sense if you know the song. Drawn a girl on a map. I was trying a freehand drawing here because, I don't know. More Halle Uchida stuff. This one is Nakamura-san, Kao Karada, and Friday Planet. But she's singing Friday by Rebecca Black. Another Halle Uchida fan art. That one's Iotoko, or Good Man. This was when I really got into cells at work. This was my first attempt at drawing White Blood Cell. He's my favourite. Moth Girl. This was another Halle Uchida fan art. More cells at work stuff. Just an unhinged idea I got. Wait, I missed a page. Oh my god. Okay. So this is XP and this is Chera. She's like a sort of sentient, sort of digital AI type character. So she like floats around on screens and stuff. I like to think that she's like an unwitting computer virus. Like she just kind of messes things up wherever she goes without really intending to. And sometimes she does it on purpose because she likes to mess with people, but she even does it when she doesn't intend to. And this is one of those times. These are two of my OCs. Cranberry Kitty, who, if you've seen my video from a couple of years ago, the Cranberry Kitty show, you probably recognize him. And this is Confucius with a K. He came from a dream in like 2016, and he's been one of my favorite OCs ever since. The name was also, the name and the spelling of his name came from the dream as well. I have no idea where the name came from, but I didn't really know anything about Chinese philosophy at the time, but anyway, yeah, that's his name. And he's scared of Cranberry Kitty because he has a massive phobia of puppets. Follow on from that, Ubera, his significant other, putting Cranberry Kitty in the timeout corner. More cells at work stuff. I do ship these two. Yes, I know it is weird to ship cells, but I ship them. This one I was sitting in the garden and there was a hoverfly that just wouldn't leave me alone. More cells at work stuff. More cells at work stuff. So some OCs. I've been thinking of doing like lore videos for my OC. Well, maybe not like lore videos. I don't really know if they have lore, but I don't know, like videos just explaining my OCs. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I went to one of the many stately homes around England, and I noticed something about all of the people who were working there. They all seemed to look the same. They were all sort of like oldish women with like glasses and similar looking faces and similar looking hairstyles and similar looking clothes. Okay, not all of them, but a lot of them looked really similar. So I came to the conclusion that they're all clones. My cat really loves walking with me up and down the street. And sometimes around like the neighbouring street as well, so we sometimes go around in a big circle. He really likes walking with me, and I really like walking with him. More cells at work stuff. This one is another another white blood cell character. He's like a total dork. A very messy page. Mari and Omori. I freehanded these and I'm quite pleased with them. Malachite from Steven Universe. I hate this page. So this was when Dream Barbecue came out. It had already been out for about 2 weeks at this point. I'd been a bit late in getting into it. But yeah, I drew a bunch of the characters. I drew Dracula, Enna, Kane or Kane. I think it's Kane because he's got like the kanji for money on his top. And he's made of money, and Kane means money, so I think it's pronounced Kane, but it could be Kane, I don't know. One of the watchers, but I forgot his little weird bug antennae thingies. More Dream Barbecue stuff, and I decided to draw a sort of humanized version of Theodora. More Dream Barbecue stuff. Some scratch art, I think that's what it's called. Freehanded that as well, quite pleased with it. And there's quite a lot of Enna stuff on this one too. Enna and mushrooms. I think the legs in the blood lake are literally just supposed to be fish. So I just thought, Enna catching a fish that's actually a leg and reacting like an Animal Crossing character. I don't know. More scratch art that I did. I really like this one. This one's my favourite. A idea for an OC that never went anywhere. Enna squared. I like the idea of these two being a couple. But I also do ship this Enna with Mooney, this Enna with coral glasses, and coral glasses with Tasky Maiden. Either way, it's very sapphic. This, if you saw my previous, like, 2, I think, sketchbook tours, you might remember this guy. I finally came up with a name for him. His name is Pyn, P-Y-N. He came from a dream. He was an alien scientist who looked like that. In this form, he's sort of piloting a mannequin. He was an alien scientist who, I think, studied humans and also wanted to fix some kind of, like, birth crisis on his planet. And for anyone who participated in his experiments, he'd give them a bag of yarn because he came to the conclusion that humans really like yarn. I don't know. More Enna stuff. This was when Gura graduated. I hate this drawing. Events. Wasn't feeling too great at the time. This was done with watercolor crayon, which I don't use as much as I should because they are so nice to use. I love them. I was in a sort of kind of an art block, so I just stuck a bunch of stuff on this page. Coral glasses scratch art. I freehanded this one too, and I'm really, really pleased with this one. Coral glasses. A sort of weird fusion between coral glasses and Mooney. A sort of, I guess, scene cat girl? I don't know. Cranberry Kitty. You might recognize this one because I did a video showcasing this one. Oh god, this scrapbooky monstrosity. I drew this with my left hand. I coloured it with my right hand. Oh yeah, my left hand is my non-dominant hand. So I drew this with my left hand and I coloured it with my right hand. Because by that point, my left hand really hurt because it's not used to doing so much work. So it's not too bad. That's Theo. He's a neighbourhood cat, and I drew this on the day where he finally let me stroke him. For months, I have been very slowly gaining his trust. And he was very shy, and he would always shrink away if I tried to stroke him. But he finally let me stroke him. He's really comfortable around me now. It's really nice to see, and he lets me... For a while I had to get his permission to stroke him, but now he just lets me stroke him whenever, and it's really sweet. This is supposed to be Cherry from Studio Killers, but it looks nothing like her. Some crazy drawings, I guess. This, I had I think from some kind of catalogue that came through the post a bunch of like rooms, like showcase rooms, and I used this as a reference for this. I don't know, this was really fun to draw. This got me out of an art block. Fukase. I might have to blur this. This is my cat. I tried to draw Gura from memory and it ended up looking awful, so I've decided it's bootleg Gura. Gura. Okay, I'm going to unblur this and it's kind of gory, so if you don't want to see that, close your eyes now. I woke up at one point in like horrible pain, and this is basically what it felt like. It's safe to open your eyes again. Icon and XP shenanigans. Icon got possessed by the "you are an idiot" virus, that's the word. That old, like, a circle in the triangle factory meme from, like, ages ago, but with Enna and coral glasses, because I thought it suited them. I'd fallen into a bit of an art block again. I don't like these pages because they remind me of bad times. Coral glasses, but the coral has overgrown. This, I don't know, like pool thing with weird perspective. I don't know, I like it. A surreal city that's like, this is like extremely mixed media. I pretty much used every art product, every art supply I have, except for pencils. I was trying to shock myself out of an art block, and a way that I do that a lot of the time is to just like cover a page with like a bunch of random watercolors, and then that usually does jog my creativity a little bit. Saki Sonobashi. It's not a gloomy fish sketchbook without at least one Saki Sonobashi in it. One of my OC's Melody. There's Nara. A sort of magical girl type character? I don't know. Miku in another outfit. A weird shape girl. Mooney. One of my OC's. Princess Shakura from Wario Land 4, because I was playing Wario Land 4 at the time. It's such a good game, oh my god. I can't remember what this was all about. A page that I do not like. Korone. She's actually my favourite VTuber. Lapis from Steven Universe being the spirit of dark and lonely water. I'm like, I thought it suited her. And I really like those old public information films. Another page that I don't like. I don't like this page either. This was a dream that I had about a plot to kill Tom Nook and a very weird game show. And these are the three black and white cats of the neighbourhood. That's Marble, my cat, that's Theo, and that's Theo's brother Jack. But I drew Jack and Theo terribly, especially Jack. I did not do them justice. Jack is also quite shy, and I also had to take a while to build his trust as well. Both Jack and Theo, they're really comfortable around me now. Some weird drawings. This actually wasn't originally supposed to be some kind of weird dinosaur lizard mantis girl. I had got her proportions wrong. I'd made a lot of anatomy errors, so I decided to turn her into a creature instead. A bunch of OCs. We got Abera, Luna, Angelo, Jackie, Orion, Rena, and Brenda. I was redesigning another OC, Veronica. Some cool pages, some colourful pages that I like. One of my OCs, Nos. Another OC, Isla. There was like a moth in my room, and it had been in my room for quite a few days, and I was beginning to think, how long do moths live? And then I found out that moths live a lot longer than I thought they would, and I thought, okay, if this moth is gonna be stuck in my room, it's not going to have as long a life as it should. So I had my lamp on, and I put it by my lamp on like a piece of cardboard, And then I mixed some honey into some water. My Google search history from that night is really funny. But yeah, I mixed some honey into some water and then dropped a few of it in front of the moth. And it took a while for the moth to relax enough to start drinking it, but eventually it did start drinking it. After a little while, it did let me carry it downstairs, and I released it out into the wild so it would have at least a chance at survival. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to blur this. This was inspired by Hadi Achida's song Sliced Honey. So, okay, I'm gonna unblur this in a minute. Again, it's heavy gore warning for this one, so again, close your eyes now if you don't want to see that. So this is Saki Sanabashi. Again, I decided to try and make it like more true to the original post. You can open your eyes now. This thing. Mayoshi Chiuso peeking through a curtain to the other side of the page. And this was when Samiko Saba debuted. If you don't know, Samiko Saba is the new persona of Gaogura. This is a page about one of my OCs, Akaro, who is a parasite. This was something that happened in Saba's first karaoke stream. She got interrupted by a spider. A fully rendered drawing of Akaro. I used my lightbox for that. Milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk. This is based on a scene from the story that I'm writing. And I did this with gouache. There's this page that the lights don't like. The lights don't like this page either. I got a book of collage stuff and there was enough stuff in there for me to do a vaporwave one. Coco, but sort of human, weird cowboy guy. Nyara VT, she's a VTuber, hence VT. Don't really have much to say about any of these drawings. Don't know if I can really blur this one without obscuring the rest of the page, so this is... I got like way back into Kate Bush. Again. I was raised on her music, so this was inspired by the song Breathing. I'd also recently, at that point, seen Threads for the first time, so I based this character partly off Kate Bush and partly off Ruth from Threads, because the song Breathing, it kind of suits her and her daughter. Very pastel looking Miku, Tato. These are a bunch of the cats who live in my neighborhood. We've got Colin, Jack, Theo, Jack again, Marble, my cat, Casper, Marble, Casper, and Ghosty. And some of their eyes as well. I don't know, I just really wanted to draw them all. Page that I really like. There were a lot of ladybirds around at that time of year, so I don't know, I drew them. I kept having to rescue them from cats. That's Mari from Amori. Coral Glasses and Dracula. This girl. Tusky Maiden. This is the thumbnail for that. This is based on the Ninth Wave, which is the B-side of Hounds of Love album, and it's like it's a bunch of songs that tell like a story. Yeah, it's by Kate Bush. Weird collage, I don't know. Weird page. Some OCs, we've got Jessie, Obera, Brenda, Octopus, and Angelo. And at this point I realised that I'd drawn Obera in a lot of pretty groovy poses, so I decided to acknowledge their sudden gymnastic ability. A girl kissing an arcade machine? I don't know. Though to be fair, this arcade machine is a living thing, it was from a dream. One of my OCs, Yaya. In some like some past sketchbook tours, I mentioned going to like this sort of interactive art installation place. It's very immersive as well, called Wake the Tiger. Yeah, I went there again. They've added so much more new stuff. So I drew a bunch of the stuff that I experienced there, including the Furby God, and discussing the meaning of life with an interdimensional being. That was fun. And I got some stickers from there as well. Yeah, it's really fun. I love that place. This is kind of continuing the vibe of the previous pages. This was kind of inspired by Wake the Tiger as well, because they have like this, it's like you're going into another world, and there's like these notice boards that sort of help with the world building, really. So I made a notice board that basically fits with my OC's world. Comet, one of my OCs, coral glasses, a collage about nuclear Armageddon, I guess. I don't know. Because of threads, I had that on the break. Kate Bush, some OC stuff, Nos and Austin. There are a couple. Some OC stuff. It's kind of a reference to something that happened in my previous sketchbook. Fish thing, I don't know. This drawing, I absolutely love this drawing. This is my favorite drawing in this sketchbook. I played Pokemon Crystal for the first time. That was fun. Weird drawings, Golbo. I missed a page again, didn't I? Oh my god. There we go, here's the missed page. Oh my god. God damn it. How did I miss this page? Well, anyway, this is a gouache painting of all of my webcore OCs. So we got XP Icon. This little box thing is called Datascope. He is a sentient supercomputer. Chara and Boxy in their box form. And I drew this little creature thing inspired by zooliminology, and then I started drawing like Golbo and Longlegs, and it ended up becoming a zooliminology page unintentionally. So this little creature, Vina, might become a new OC. I've drawn it again since. Now I need to remember where I was. The double-sided meat bird, I don't know. Some OC stuff. This is referencing a really old drawing I did in 2016. One of my OCs, Timpani, petting Vina. This was a sort of experimental drawing. I saw this drawing that someone did where they coloured dark skin with like pink and purple instead of like brown. So I thought I should try that. And so yeah, I tried it here and I actually really like the effect. It gives off like a really warm effect. Colour theory is pretty cool, I love it. Another collage, I really like this one. Mr. Plant related stuff. Oh, and also the Mourner, another character by Asha Gharavi. Pose practices. And also face practices. That's my grandma. Everything on these pages was drawn with a reference apart from this. More Cells at Work stuff, because I got back into it. Needy Streamer Overload, Madotsky, Weird Bird, I don't know. Shantae, that was when Risky Revolution released on Switch. Yeah, it's really fun. I'm pretty much guaranteed to love any Shantae game though. This is inspired by another Kate Bush song, Deeper Understanding, about someone who falls in love with an AI. A song that was written in 1989, I think. Late 80s anyway, and it's become like extremely relevant. It's a really good song, it's really worth a listen if you haven't heard it. Redesigning another OC, Maker. I like these pages, but I don't really have much to say about them. These are some design ideas for characters from the story I'm writing. They're probably, I'm probably not going to put illustrations in the story. I might do. I don't know. But I just like drawing them anyway. To someone I follow on Blue Sky, this was something that happened in a dream. And these people were looking for a lost city, and this girl's name was the coordinates of the lost city. Somehow. So this is a big family that exists in my OCs called the Rulers. We got Death and Leah, who are the parents. Neru, who's their oldest daughter. Jene, who's their second oldest. Meika and Rena, who are their youngest kids. And Rena is also a robot. I don't know, these weird drawings. These are some of the characters from the story I'm writing. A collage, a sort of cutesy page. I used my watercolor crayons for this again. The Sultana from Shantae, some Yumeniki stuff. Oh my god, the lights really don't like this thing. This was based on a Tumblr post. This is Netra full body in colour. This was inspired by Ivan Seal. A rotten apple full of slugs. Weird old guy, I don't know. Very unhinged 3 AM drawings. More of these. A collage that I really like. Cool spread that I really like. There's like so many angels in this book, I swear. I wanted to fit all of my OCs into this sketchbook, so I drew the 4 remaining ones. And we've also got Meika Annoying Pin, because where the hell not? This was another birthday card that I got, but I added that nonsensical sentence. And then these are the last 2 pages where I really just wanted to finish my sketchbook, so I just stuck a bunch of stuff in it, including a drawing from 2015. A little Animal Crossing villager, because I've been into Animal Crossing again recently. Yeah, that's sketchbook 34. So I'll see you in like another 7 months or so, I guess. Yeah.